The text arrived at 9:17 p.m., right as the celebration I had anticipated all day was about to begin. I had stayed late at the office party waiting for this moment. "Can we celebrate tomorrow?" Her words appeared on my phone, casual, almost flippant, as if the 2 hours I had waited, my candlelit dinner, the bouquet of flowers, the cake I had bought with my promotion bonus, meant nothing. I stared at the screen, disbelief and hurt twisting in my chest. My promotion, the reward for 10 years of relentless nights, sacrifices and battles, was meant to be our moment, a milestone to share. Yet she chose someone else's company over mine. I set the phone down, packed the untouched cake, and quietly left the restaurant, letting the laughter of strangers dissolve into white noise around me. For the first time, I understood that loyalty and respect are earned, and sometimes absence teaches lessons that words never can. The following day, her silence spoke louder than any apology ever could. No explanation, no attempt at reconciliation, just avoidance. But days later, the situation shifted dramatically. My phone began buzzing incessantly, frantic calls coming not from friends, nor family, but from her. She had started reaching out to everyone in my circle, coworkers, old friends, even distant relatives. Her voice trembled over the line, desperate, pleading, almost panicked. "Please answer. I need you. I made a mistake," she cried repeatedly, failing to grasp that her absence and betrayal carried consequences far greater than she had anticipated. She thought her desperation, her charm, could bend reality in her favor. But by that point I had moved forward. I had learned, grown, and fortified myself in ways she never imagined. My silence became my strength. Each ignored call was a lesson. Each unanswered plea a quiet demonstration. Respect cannot be demanded, and love cannot endure where loyalty is abandoned. It wasn't long before the consequences became visible at work. Rumors about her manipulations, her avoidance, and her frantic attempts to regain control spread through the office. Her calls, messages, and desperate pleas were intercepted, forwarded, or simply witnessed. Colleagues whispered in hushed tones, glances exchanged filled with a mix of sympathy and judgment. I didn't interfere, I observed. Truth, I realized, often needs no defense. It rises on its own. For months, she had believed that charm, excuses, and manipulation could bend reality to her will. She assumed she was abandoning a man at his weakest, not realizing that absence and perseverance had made me unbreakable. Every look she cast my way carried disbelief. Every conversation she attempted ended in failure. Her carefully curated world of control began to crumble silently, irreversibly, and I remained a patient witness to her reckoning. The day she walked into my office, pale and trembling, the panic in her expression was unmistakable. Her words stumbled, tangled between apologies and feeble rationalizations, none of them coherent or convincing. I said nothing, letting her unravel in front of the evidence she had long ignored. A colleague she had contacted nervously lingered in the background, unsure whether to intervene. Her explanations for her absence, her choices, her betrayal fell flat. Each plea echoed the very lesson she had refused to learn. Actions carry consequences, and respect is earned, never demanded. I calmly reminded her that absence exposes truth, and patience reveals power. At last, she understood that the man she had left behind, the one she had deemed weak, was now steadfast, composed, and untouchable in ways she had underestimated. Her desperation reflected back like a mirror, exposing the magnitude of her mistakes and the permanence of her losses. The room seemed to shrink around her panic, contrasting sharply with my quiet authority. I didn't need to raise my voice or humiliate her publicly. The aftermath of her choices spoke for itself. Every friend she had contacted, every family member she had begged, recognized the shift. My promotion, hard-won and long-awaited, symbolized more than achievement. It embodied integrity, patience, and perseverance that cannot be bought or manipulated. She had traded loyalty for convenience, love for comfort, charm for security. But security built on another's effort is fragile. Her eyes, wide with regret, and her shaking hands told the story she could no longer deny. I allowed her to witness the results of her choices firsthand. My patience, persistence, and steadfastness had created a life she had overlooked, and silence proved the most powerful demonstration of what she had lost. She tried again, frantic calls, messages, pleading with anyone she thought could sway me. I stayed silent, allowing her to see that panic cannot erase past actions. Each unanswered attempt revealed the cost of betrayal. From a distance, I watched her confidence crumble. She had assumed absence meant weakness, silence meant submission, and patience meant vulnerability. Instead, I had grown, strengthened, and claimed full control over my life. My promotion, my accomplishments, my calm composure became living proof of what loyalty and effort can build over time. She had laughed, dismissed, and ignored me. Yet absence, perseverance, and patience had proven far more enduring than charm, manipulation, and panic. The lessons were clear, subtle yet undeniable. Respect cannot be forced. Love cannot be demanded. It is earned, preserved, and never ignored without consequence. By the end of the week, her world had shifted irreversibly. Those she had contacted returned to their routines, silently acknowledging the truth she had desperately tried to undo. She remained pale, aware that frantic effort could not reclaim what she had abandoned. I did not gloat, did not raise my voice, and did not intervene. My silence had become my power. I had waited, persevered, and built a life worthy of respect, proving that absence and patience hold their own authority. She had begged, pleaded, panicked, but it was too late. I was no longer the man waiting for recognition. I was the man who had transcended her influence, her manipulation, her reach. Some lessons arrive too late. Some victories are quiet. But some transformations are permanent. Mine had been absolute.